Is that Angelis is struggling a little bit to protect that lead, and we may be in for a close run-in for second place by the end of the race.
Lap 48, and the gap now, this is the only real excitement in the race, is down to 4.4 seconds between Elio De Angelis in second place on his 48th lap and Keke Rosberg in third position. And the really exciting thing is that it seems pretty clear that the World Championship is going to go right down to the last race at Caesar's Palace in Las Vegas before it is decided, because if Keke Rosberg could get ahead of Elio De Angelis, it would give him another 2 World Championship points, and you can see how close to it he is now. That would give him 33 points, and he would then only be 1 point behind Prost, who would be effectively, I think, leading the World Championship, because it must be impossible for Pironi to come back. Now, Torbay is up into 6th position behind this lot, and on lap 48, the race order is Alain Prost leading by 30 seconds. Elio De Angelis less than 4 seconds almost now, ahead of Keke Rosberg, who is third. Jacques Lafitte is fourth. Niki Lauda is in 5th position. Patrick Torbay is 6th ahead of Baldi, 7th. Serra is 8th. And John Watson is out of the race now, so there are only 8 runners on lap 49 in this 53-lap race. Here is the battle for second place, and that is Prost's car. The Renault is in flames. The race leader is out. Alain Prost, it's happened yet again. First of all, Arnoux out, now Prost out, and we're going to have Elio De Angelis or Keke Rosberg winning the Austrian Grand Prix. What incredible drama.
Well, there we go, and that looked like blown turbochargers. Alain Prost very disappointed, very angry with the car, and I have to say that I think it might be quite coincidental. On the other hand, it might be well relevant that what I was saying just a little while ago about Renault not trusting their drivers to give them a boost knob, which, as well as being good for reliability in the race, is also good to be able to turn it up just to pass somebody, to get a little bit of extra power when needed. If you don't trust your driver, you ask for trouble, and I have to say that if he turned his boost down by the equivalent of, say, 50 horsepower, and there is Torbay going through past Lauda into now third place. So Patrick Torbay is really scoring the points as the leaders drop out. That puts Torbay third. Lauda briefly went into third with Prost's demise, now sharply pushed back down to fourth. And of course, Rosberg is now catching De Angelis, and they're racing for the lead. But
welcome back to the Austrian Grand Prix, and what a turnabout we're seeing now. It looks like we're going to see the first win for a Lotus since the 1978 season. I can see that Keke Rosberg has really got the bit between his teeth, and he's trying very, very hard indeed to catch De Angelis. There is only 1 or 2 laps left. I don't think he can do it, but I certainly think it'll be worthwhile watching him try to do. We return you back to the circuit to Murray Walker and James Hunt.
I was watching him through the corners. He's driving very smoothly and very well, and at the moment he looks to be handling things extremely well, because it's a moment of great pressure in sight of the checkered flag of your first Grand Prix, with the most unfortunate sight of somebody breathing down your neck right behind in your mirrors. Makes the whole thing rather sort of takes the icing off the cake.
Out of the Bosch curve. They are now on lap 51 in this 53-lap race, and what a grandstand finish it's going to be for the Austrian Grand Prix. There is the fiercely charging Keke Rosberg, who was bitterly disappointed when he took pole position in the British Grand Prix to have his engine die on him on the warm-up lap. He started from the back of the grid. He was confidently expecting to win the British Grand Prix, but that victory was denied him, and it could be that he's going to come good here. It could be, but only if he can catch and get past Elio De Angelis. They're coming up now to complete lap 51. Lafitte is still third. Torbay fourth. Lauda fifth. Baldi in the arrows sixth. And the gap between De Angelis and Rosberg is now down to 2.2 seconds as they go into the Heller Licht chicane. That is third gear as they come out of it. accelerate away up to 175 miles an hour towards the Glatz curve.
Well, De Angelis has got enough to keep his lead to stay in front. That he's proved. His big problem is to stay cool, because if he starts to get flustered, he runs the risk of making a mistake and or driving messily, and that will take speed off, because when he drives smoothly and coolly, as he has been doing on some laps, he's got a bit ragged on others. When he drives it smoothly, he keeps his lead in front of Rosberg, but Rosberg is steadily chipping away, and he looks to be just that little bit closer as they come down to go on round the Bosch curve for the penultimate time. He's got a lap and a half to go.
Yes, and I am quite sure that when Keke Rosberg catches De Angelis, not if, he's going to catch him, but when he catches him, Elio De Angelis is without doubt going to have the widest car on the circuit. He will be going into the corners as wide as possible. He will be keeping Rosberg back as much as he possibly can, and even somebody as determined as Keke Rosberg, and he's probably the most determined driver on the track, is going to have all his time cut out to get past Elio De Angelis. But they're coming up to back markers. They're coming through now to complete lap 52 and into the last lap in this race, and the gap as they do that is 1.64 seconds.
Yes, well, I don't think if De Angelis keeps cool, he's not going to have to get wide, because he's got enough lead to keep it, to just keep the gap going. But Rosberg is really charging, but De Angelis has got just about enough air to keep that gap for the rest of the lap. But what an exciting finish of the Grand Prix. Rosberg is imperceptibly closing. Any minute now, Rosberg coming in fast into the corner. He's giving it everything. And now, if Rosberg is close enough, he's beginning to feel the effect of the toe from De Angelis' car. He is, in fact, close enough. And now Rosberg's in position just about to have a go. He is going to be able to catch him before the end of the lap. Fantastic finish.
Well, let's see. Rosberg right with De Angelis now. One of these two is going to win the Austrian Grand Prix. They go into the Bosch curve for the last time. I can tell you that the whole Lotus team and the whole Williams team are crowding the pit rails. It's going to be one of the closest Grand Prix finishes for a long, long time. Into the Texaco bends, 140 miles an hour. On the left, De Angelis leading, on the right, Rosberg second.
Well, Rosberg's only chance is a do-or-die manoeuvre into the last corner, and he's coming out quicker through there. He's getting the toe. Can he get inside? Now, De Angelis taking the inside line. Rosberg getting the toe. Rosberg should try the outside. Oh, it's fantastic stuff. De Angelis kept him well blocked. That's very excusable on the last lap, but Rosberg's coming at him. He's going to finish side by side, and De Angelis has just held it.
Up goes Elio De Angelis' hand, and the young Roman has won his first Grand Prix, and he has put the hard-trying John Clare Special Lotus team back into contention again. And this is marvellous news for them. They've given us the news yesterday that next year they will be using Renault engines, although maybe after the troubles that we've seen today and in the previous Grand Prix, they need to make sure they've got a reliable one. But Elio De Angelis, as Jacques Lafitte finishes in third position, is justifiably beside himself with joy. He has sometimes been accused of being more of a playboy than a racing driver, but he has proved today that that is certainly not the case. There is Niki Lauda, who is coming through in fifth position, and that is Torbay finishing fourth, and behind Lauda will be Mauro Baldi. So Elio De Angelis has won his first Grand Prix, the Austrian Grand Prix, by less than half a car's length from Keke